Will we ask that you stand for our prayer and the pledge, and Mr. BCHerons is going to lead us in the prayer.
Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just want to thank you, Lord, for another beautiful day. Lord, we thank you for allowing us to be able to come out here tonight, Lord, and recognize these ones, Lord, just to be a part of this work. Lord, we want to lift the teachers and the students up to you, Lord, the safety of them, Lord, and these board members, school system in general, Lord. We just want to lift it up to you, Lord, pray that you keep them safe, Lord. Lord, all the students are getting ready to come to the test is coming up, Lord, I pray you keep them. Lord, the wisdom you have for that, Lord, we just thank you for all your many blessings. Lord, most of all, we thank you for loving us enough to send your son Jesus down the cross, Lord. And we just thank you for that. That's the prayer,
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This time we'll turn it over to our superintendent for her update.
Yes, sir. It's great to see such a large crowd. When I get here and I see this, I know that means we've got a lot of special recognition tonight, and recognize do every day in the schoolhouse. That's the most important thing that we could do. So we're excited that you're here with us tonight. We've had a great return from spring break. Our students and staff have been working diligently, working hard. Our 3rd through 8th graders are getting ready for state testing, which actually begins next week on Tuesday and will run through the following week, the first week in May. The Brantley County School System will celebrate Secretary Appreciation Day next week, Wednesday, April 25th, and Teacher Appreciation Week will be the following week, beginning April 30th. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Cummins to come forward and give the sports update. You can go to the next slide, Mr. Allen.
Okay, good evening. I'm not going to mess with that mic unless you can't hear me because I'm too loud, I think. We'll start with the middle school. Middle school sports have pretty much finished up right there before spring break. The highlight of the spring was the girls tennis team, where they're runners-up in the conference. We also have sports physicals coming up for the middle school age students on May the 2nd. So that's a free physical for any student in Brantley County in middle school age, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade upcoming. So take advantage of that. There have been a lot of flyers and details going on about that, but that's May 2nd. And the athletic director at middle school, Mr. Biff Lee, wanted to thank Miss Brenda Johns for organizing the food to feed the teams at the conference golf tournament back when we had that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, the high school golf is wrapping up. They've got 2 tournaments coming up actually in Statesboro. They get to play on the course that Georgia Southern plays on. So they're excited about that, and that will determine if they have any golfers move on to state. So that should be coming up in the next week or so. Soccer, our boys are 6-3, and they have a 3-game winning streak, so that is great. They need to win 1 more game to get into the playoffs, and that'll actually be happening this Friday night, so we will know if they get in or not. The girls are in a similar position. They need to win Friday night as well. So both those teams have improved through the years and battle. The track team has actually their region track tournament will be tomorrow at Ware County, and that's an all-day event. So if you're in Waycross and want to go see our track boys and girls, they're competing at the high school. That's the region track meet, and we'll know who advances on to sectionals after that. We did have a recent meet. Some of the high performers were Brianna Morgan in the long jump, Madison Daniels in the discus, and Marco Pasanita in discus for the boys. The baseball team is 10-15. They are 4-4 in the region. They're 3rd place in the region right now, so they're trying to finish strong, finish 3rd or 4th to get into the playoffs. And last but not least, our tennis team, both the boys and the girls won region again. I believe that's 4 times in a row for the boys and 2 times in a row for the girls winning region high school tennis. That is awesome. And the boys actually played their first state round for tennis, and they won 5-0 this afternoon. So
Awesome.
they will advance, and I believe girls tomorrow. Tomorrow, girls will host 1:30, I believe. So go by the high school tomorrow to see our girls tennis. I think they will advance as well. We're confident. That is all the sports for this month.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Tumlin, will you update us on the Heron Hustle? We hope everyone in here will participate.
I just want to invite everyone to come join us Saturday for our 4th annual Heron Hustle 5K and Fun Run here at the Nahunta Elementary Gym. Registration starts at 7:30. The 5K begins at 8:30. We have our fun run at 9:30. And we'll have awards and door prizes at 10. And Terry Steedley comes out and MCs for us, and we have a great time. And lace up your shoes and come join us, or y'all can wear your cowboy boots, because I had somebody wear theirs last year, so come on out, okay?
Thank you.
And I have some registration forms here if anybody would like one.
All right, if we can turn our attention to the PowerPoint and dim the lights. Okay, the next slide. We've been and I believe that Chief so anyway, a good time. Next slide. We have our video for the spring, thanks to Dr. Haney. Okay, if we could turn the lights back on, we're going to Dr. Haney would come forward and present our Young Georgia Authors winners.
Good afternoon. I am here to introduce our Young Georgia Writing Competition. The purpose of the Young Georgia Authors Writing Competition is to encourage students to develop enthusiasm and expertise in their writing, to provide a context to celebrate their writing success, and to recognize student achievement in the arts and academics. And this contest has actually been going on since I was in school, so some parents might remember it whenever they were going through. And it's sponsored by the Georgia Language Arts Supervisors and the Georgia RESA Network with support from the Georgia Department of Education. And we are very, very proud of our system level winners, and we want to introduce them to you tonight. So our first student that I want to introduce is our kindergarten winner, and this is Sydney Harrelson. Is Sydney here? Yay! All right. Sydney's parents are Jennifer and Alex Harrelson, and she goes to Waynesville Primary School.
Stay right there, darling. Yeah, Dr. Thompson will show you where to stand. You are doing great.
Our first grade winner is Darren Lee Maury. And his parent is Constance Hand, and he is also a Waynesville primary student. Okay. And if you want to stand back up, do you want them? Did they get a picture? Did they both get a picture? Yes. Okay. We just want to make sure we get pictures of them. All right. And our second grade winner is Clark Carter. I know I saw Clark earlier. Clark's parents are Kyle and Tyree Carter, and he is a student at Hoboken Elementary School. Our third grade winner is Autry Johns. His parents are Jarrett and Camille Johns, and he is a student at Nahunta Primary School. Our fourth grade winner is Solus Smith. His parents are Joshua and Bethany Smith, and he is a fourth grade student at Hoboken Elementary. Our fifth grade student is Maggie Devine. Maggie's parents are Scott and Angela Devine, and she is a fifth grade student at Atkinson Elementary School. Our sixth grade student is Jaden Harris. Jaden's parents are Billy and April Harris, and she is a sixth grade student at Nahunta Elementary School. And now we'll move on to our middle school winners. Our seventh grade winner for the system was Taylor Wilds. Taylor's parents are Jamie and Brenda Wilds, and she is a seventh grade student, as I said, at BCMS. And then our eighth grade winner was Jessie Harrell. And we are super proud of Jessie. She not only won the system level winner, but when we sent her pieces, we sent all the pieces to RESA to be judged. And Jessie's selection was chosen. Make sure you smile. Jessie's selection was chosen by RESA as the overall RESA winner and will be going to the state for competition. So we're very proud of her. And I think I said this, but Jessie's parents are Eddie and Margaret Harrell.
I'm sorry.
For our high school winners, ninth grade was Caitlin Bullard. Caitlin's parent is Ivy Bullard, and she is a ninth grade student at BCHS. Our 10th grade BCHS student is Kevin Boyette. I saw him tonight. Kevin's parent is Kevin and Kathy Boyette. He wasn't able to be here with us tonight, but we are proud of him. 10th grade winner. 11th grade student is Grant Bennett. Grant's parents are Brian and Delaney Bennett, and he is an 11th grade student at BCHS. And finally, our 12th grade student is Corinne Turner, and her parents are Charles and Holly Turner. So this was our senior winner this year at BCHS. And it is absolutely wonderful to see some of these faces each year as they go through. We're very excited to be able to offer this competition to them, and we thank all of you for coming out tonight for that. We've got some other awards that we'll call out, and before everybody leaves, if you don't mind, if you had a child that was a young author winner, we want a group picture of them right when we do the break for the parents. So when we do the break, if you'll send your child right up front here, and we will get a picture of them, a group picture.
Good evening, everybody. We've had a great year. In the last board meeting, I was able to kind of go through a couple of the big time things we've had going on. We've had 3 or 4 different things that have never happened at Bradley County High School. And you know, this year we've got these couple things that we're going to announce tonight. I think maybe have happened before, but it's been a long time, so we're super excited about all of them. I'm actually going to call all 4 of these students up at the same time because they're a team. We had a FFA State Poultry State Championship team, and we have 4 members of that team. And they just come up whenever I call your name. Grant Bennett, Maddie Davis, Tori Bladesdale, and Kaylee Lavelle. So these 3 young ladies and young man will be going to Indianapolis next school year to compete for a national championship in FFA State Poultry. So we're super excited for all of them. Y'all broke the dang camera. Award, we had a group of students that went up to the FBLA State Convention in Atlanta, and I was actually lucky enough to go up there and watch one of our own run for a state office. And she was actually elected state reporter, which is a pretty big deal, so she got to travel all over the state and a couple places throughout the country, I believe throughout the next year, to represent not just Brantley County, but also the state of Georgia as a whole, so we're super excited about that. And also, she won first place in introduction to FBLA, which is one of their competitions at their FBLA convention, so we want to recognize Elizabeth Howell for that.
Hey, I'm Christopher Harris. I'm the principal at Brandon County Middle School. And tonight we want to recognize a few of our HOSA members and also one of our TSA members for their competition in state recently. And let me kind of read this off. I don't want to mess it up. First off, we're going to recognize our HOSA members. These are the competition results from the 2018 State Leadership Conference. The students that placed in the top 3 have automatically qualified for nationals, which this year is going to be taking place in Dallas, Texas. So these students will have the opportunity to travel out to Dallas and compete. The first ones that I want to recognize are for public health. And like Dr. Horner was talking about, these guys competed as a group. And for the state champions for public health are Miss Haley Slover. I'm not sure if Haley was going to be able to be here. Miss Liliana Novak, Miss Morgan Lee, and Mr. Grant Crosby.
needed the glass to come.
Good job. All right. Next, for extemporaneous healthcare poster, Miss Kylie Burgess is a state champion. Congratulations. All right, congratulations. The next students we want to recognize are for third place in the state, and once again qualifying for nationals, and that's going to be in health career display, and that is Kylie Moore and Taylor Wilds. Good job, ladies. And then Miss Sage Hathaway, and I don't think Sage was going to be able to be here. She actually placed 4th in career exploration, and she was considered an alternate, and one of the top 3 places, the top 3 that placed was unable to go to nationals. So Sage also has moved up and will be also traveling to nationals. So, but again, she's not able to be here tonight, but we want to congratulate her for that. And then the last is Miss Easton Cummings, and she also is not here tonight. She is sick. She placed 4th place in prepared speaking, and also Easton was the recipient of the HOSA Hero Award. And basically, this is something new that the HOSA clubs has started this year, and they are basically nominated by their advisor, or anyone else could nominate them. I talked with Coach Page, and he's here somewhere. He was explaining that this the new thing, and they actually received a $25 gift card to the HOSA store, recognition at the State Leadership Conference. And so this is just basically an award that recognizes students that show true leadership and a passion for HOSA. So we're excited that we have one of the very few in the Coach Page, you remember how many total? 8 in the entire state that were recognized for this award, and we have one student that was. So we want to congratulate Miss Easton Cummings, and again, she's not able to be here. She's under the weather tonight, but we do congratulate her for that. All right, and then last, I want to recognize Mr. Carter Strickland. Is he here? There he is. Carter, Brandon County Middle School, in our first ever Technology Students of America competition, state competition, and placed 6th place. We're very, very proud of him, and we want to congratulate him on that accomplishment. This is our first year for having the TSA club, and so we're excited about Carter. One more thing. And I'd also like to recognize Mr. Gary Edholm as our TSA advisor that took Carter up to state competition, and Coach Tyler Page is our HOSA advisor. And we appreciate those guys for what they do. And also, this is some recent information that come to us. Dr. Krista Morris, our ag advisor, also recently let us know, I'm going to read out here, it says Brandon County Middle School FFA has been named a Gold Emblem chapter. This consists of only 10% of the chapters in the state of Georgia. BCMS FFA will now advance to compete as a national outstanding chapter against all 50 states, and that'll be coming up in October, and that's something they just were recognized for, so we want to tell them congratulations for that as well.
All right, that concludes my superintendent's update.
Well, thank you. At this time, we would going to offer a 3-minute break. If any of you would like to depart at this time, if you will, more than welcome to stay, but we'll give about 3 minutes. If you want to depart at this time, you're more than happy to do so.
And we want to get
And I would like to ask, is there any public participation at this time? Hearing none, we'll move right along. Need approval of the agenda.
Motion. Second.
Before we vote on it, I'd like to amend the agenda
All right.
with moving action item 12 until after personnel.
Okay.
So we'll slide everything, and action item 12 will become 18, actually. We'll just slide everything up one and that one.
So we'll address it when we come out of executive
Yes.
session. Gotcha.
All right. So we need to amend.
I make a motion to amend. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right. All right. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Davis? Chair votes yes. All right. Disposition of the minutes on page 3 of your workbook. Need a motion to accept the minutes
Motion.
and a second.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Corrections, changes? Hearing none. Mr. David? Yes. Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Monthly financial reports on page 13 in your workbook. Need a motion to accept the monthly financial reports
Motion.
and a second.
Second. Go ahead, Karen.
Any discussion on the financial reports? Hearing none, Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. School financial reports on page 28 in your workbook. Need a motion to approve the school financial reports
Motion.
and a second.
Second.
Any discussion on school financial reports?
They're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Athletic reports on page 117 in your workbook. Athletic reports do not require a vote. And the SPLOST revenue report on page 120 in your workbook.
We had a local revenue of $93,734.69, a tax collection of $45,359.14 for a grand total of $139,093.83. Good job, and keep buying local and keep paying your taxes.
Right, thank you. Action items.
Yes, sir. Action item 11, I recommend approving the contract services for special education as presented.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
These are our annual people that we contract out, such as some speech, behavior, occupational therapy, and so forth.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Thank you for putting them all in one action item.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Okay, so the next one will be action item 12, since we've amended
Okay.
the agenda. I recommend approving the FY 2019 academic addendums as presented.
Here's the superintendent's recommendation
Motion.
and a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. David? Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Action item 13, I recommend approving the bid of $12,592 from Mingledorff's to purchase 2 air conditioning units for the maintenance department.
I'll make a motion.
I'll
And-
second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Action item 14, I recommend to approve the professional learning and school system branding contract with David R. Voss Associates as presented.
Here's superintendent's recommendation. Can we get a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any discussion?
I think this will be a good program.
Yes, sir. This contract will allow us to get some much-needed professional learning at a very good price for our administrators, counselors, and other leaders in our system, as well as some branding and marketing pieces too, to showcase Brantley County.
Any other discussion? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Action item 15, I recommend approving the resolution for the modernization, construction of Nahunta Elementary School as presented.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
This is just the final action item showing that we have completed that project that was mainly constructed with entitlement money from the state.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David? Chair votes yes.
Action item 16, I recommend approving the transfer of $1,500,000 from the general fund to the capital outlay project fund as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
The capital outlay project fund will allow us to not have to sell bonds while we're beginning our project at the high school. Some of the things that could possibly be paid for out front with the capital outlay project include the softball baseball complex, modernization of the BCHS 5010 building, the additional health care room, new locker rooms, training room, and coaches suite at Brantley County High School, and the new weight room.
Any other discussion?
Just want to emphasize, it's not new money, it's money that's in the account that's being set aside mostly for the auditor's purposes. When they come in and they don't see money jumbling all around, it's coming out of, but once all the project is completed, this fund could be dissolved in this account. But all the money's gonna still stay in the same bank account. It's just a
Yes, sir.
accounting.
That's a good point, because a lot of the money will be entitlement money that will be used from the state to modernize Brantley County High School. We have to pay it out up front, which, like he was saying, will we use out of this fund, and then as the state pays us back, it'll go back in there. So eventually, we will have money that will transfer back into the general fund. When we're done, we'll come before the board and vote again on that.
So we are doing all this without selling bonds, paying interest, or paying bond fees, so it's saving Brantley County money.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Need executive session for personnel?
Yes, sir.
Need executive session, need a motion to go into executive session for
I
personnel
make a
only?
motion.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Out of executive session at 8:31 with no action taken. Need a motion? And a second?
Second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey? Yes. Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes. Chair
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following resignations. Miss Tammy Shirley from Atkinson Elementary School. Miss Leila Morgan, paraprofessional from Brantley County Middle School, resigning for the purpose of retirement. William K. Biff Lee, Assistant Principal Athletic Director at Brantley County Middle School. Ann Griner, School Nutrition Food Assistant at Waynesville Primary School for the purpose of retiring. Cindy Batten, Custodian at Brantley County High School. Lauren Whitaker, Teacher, Brantley County High School. Mark Walker, Teacher, Brantley County High School.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following recommendations. Christina Sailors, teacher, Nahunta Elementary School. Wesley Kate Melvin, teacher at Atkinson Elementary School. Haley Shaw, teacher at Atkinson Elementary School. Heather Cook, paraprofessional at Atkinson Elementary School. Emily Gibson, teacher at Atkinson Elementary School. Stevie Hendricks, employee with the Maintenance Department. Tori Grace, school nutrition manager at Hoboken Elementary School. Loretta Boyd, teacher at Atkinson Elementary School.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to recommend the hire of Mr. Dalton Larcy, special education teacher at Brantley County Middle School.
I'll make a motion. And I'll second.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Abstain.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'd like to recommend the transfer of Christy O'Neill from Atkinson Elementary School to Nahunta Primary School for the 2018-2019 school year.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
And I'd like to recommend the attached rehires for the 2018-2019 school year as presented.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
And I have one more action item. I'd like to recommend the pay scales for the 2018-2019 school year as presented.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Any other business?
No, sir.
Hearing none, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
And a second? Mr. David?
Yes.
Ms. Brenda?
Yes.
Mr. Carey? Ms. Teresa?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.